morning, St. Martin. I'm Jasenia Lassaro.
And I'm Alston Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
Where we bring the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's the beginning of the week. Let's dive into these top headlines.
A heartbreaking tragedy unfolded on Thursday, May 29th, when a 4-year-old boy drowned in a swimming pool in Oyster Pond area. Police Central Dispatch received the emergency call around 1 p.m. reporting that a young child had fallen into a pool. In response, multiple police patrols and ambulance teams rushed to the scene. Upon arrival, they found the child unresponsive. Officers and emergency medical personnel performed CPR, and the boy was quickly transported to the St. Martin Medical Center for further treatment. Despite all medical efforts, the child could not be revived. Authorities later confirmed his passing. The St. Martin Police Force has extended its deepest condolences to the grieving family. An investigation is currently underway to determine the exact circumstances of the incident.
Theo Heyliger may be ordered to pay millions after a court upheld a 2023 ruling finding him liable for blocking a major port project over a decade ago. The civil case filed by Zeebeck Development NV and its owners claims Heyliger used political pressure to shut down their $92 million Dutch Village project after they refused to give him a cut of rental income. Though Heyliger denies wrongdoing and said the case was settled with a $10 million payment by others, the court found he sabotaged the project and failed to defend himself in court. His legal team missed deadlines to present witnesses, prompting a judge to finalize his liability in February. The court will now decide how much he must pay. The next hearing for co-defendants is set for June 24th. Heyliger, currently in prison for unrelated bribery charges, can still appeal if ordered to pay. Education Minister, the Honorable Melissa Gumbs, has issued a warning to students and families following a new U.S. directive to halt student visa interviews. The move, announced on May 28, stems from plans to more strictly screen applicants' social media activity. Minister Gumbs acknowledged that many St. Martin students currently study in the U.S., especially in Florida, and that others are preparing to apply. She emphasized that the policy is outside the government's control, but carries real consequences for students' academic futures. The U.S. may now examine platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat when reviewing student visa applications. Gumbs reminded students that even private profiles can be accessed by authorities and that posts depicting violence, school fights, or risky behavior could negatively affect visa eligibility. She urged students to act wisely online and for parents to hold open conversations about the risks. The Ministry of Education will monitor the situation and provide guidance where possible, but Gumbs stressed that preparation and awareness are key. These are uncertain times, she said, but panic helps no one. We must equip our students to face the real world with knowledge and clarity.
Manon Ridderbeks has been appointed as St. Martin's new Chief Prosecutor, effective August 1st, 2025. The Kingdom Council of Ministers confirmed her appointment on May 28. She will replace Hika Buist, who becomes Deputy Chief Prosecutor at the National Prosecutor's Office in the Netherlands on July 1st. Ridderbeks, currently a senior prosecutor in Limburg, is familiar with St. Martin, having previously served on the island. Her return is expected to bring continuity and seasoned leadership to the prosecutor's office.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in.
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
And Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night.
A red passenger van caught fire on Saturday morning, May 31st, near 80 Illage Road and Middle Region. Police and fire department units responded quickly around 9:30 a.m., finding the van fully engulfed in flames. Firefighters swiftly brought the blaze under control. The driver reported the fire started unexpectedly while driving. No injuries were reported, but the vehicle was completely destroyed. Authorities thanked emergency responders and urged the public to regularly inspect and maintain their vehicles.
Recovery efforts at Point Blanche Prison are progressing steadily after the May 14th fire. The Ministry of Justice is working with KPSM, UNOPS, Kingdom Partners, and others to restore safety and operations at the facility. UNOPS experts are on site and 6 inmates were safely transferred to Bonaire last week. Correctional officers from Aruba and Curaçao are assisting locally throughout June. Electrical work has already brought lighting and outlets to 40 cells, and pre-painting will begin soon. Cleanup is completed and air quality has improved. Inmate rights remain temporarily restricted, though phone contact with families continues. Minister of Justice Natalie Tacklin praised the cooperation and emphasized a focus on safety, transparency, and institutional strength. The Dutch Caribbean Coast Guard intercepted a St. Maarten registered vessel on Thursday in Simpson Bay carrying undocumented cargo from Barbuda. On inspection, officers found 421 kilograms of conch and 117 dead lobsters on board, 71 of which were undersized, molting, or carrying eggs. The captain lacked proper documentation for both the vessel and its cargo and claimed he was transporting the seafood for a local vendor. Legal action will be taken against both the captain and the vendor for violating fishing and transport regulations.
St. Maarten parliamentary delegation was in Montevideo, Uruguay, participating in the 21st Parlamentarias Plenary Assembly and 9th Open Parliament Network gathering from May 27th to May 29th. This year's theme was Legislating for the Future, Harnessing Anticipatory Governance in Parliamentary Action. The event explored how parliaments could use strategic foresight and open governance to better respond to future challenges. The St. Maarten delegation included MPs Shamira Roseberg, delegation leader, Viren Kotay, Lyndon Lewis, Rayon Peterson, Daryl York, and Secretary General G.J. Richardson. Vice President Roseberg spoke during Session 1, highlighting initiatives like Parliament's new thesis library, a committee for district councils, and public roundtables hosted by the Committee of Justice. She also mentioned an active petition from local contractors over trust fund projects contract, which was then under review by the Committee on Petitions.
It's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. That's it for your Sunshine Report. It was brought to you by the Met Department of St. Martin. Stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
Today marks the first day of the hurricane season. The first name on the Atlantic Basin side will be Andrea. Alvin already happened on the Eastern Pacific side. Thank you for subscribing to this channel as we're now in the hurricane season and kind of spreading it into your community with your friends and family. In this video, the big surge of dust impacting the Caribbean up through the U.S. I want to show you that. I want to swing into the European versus American model with that chance of some development, the atmospheric environment, the water temperatures, which are surging in some spots, plus new areas of rain. I want to show you some of these rain totals that will be impressive. So hang with me. I know this is a little long this time of year, a lot going on. One front here, this is going to bring new areas of rain to the Bahamas. Over toward Cuba, even the Cayman Islands, parts of Jamaica, we could see some additional rain, and this will help add some rain to the Caribbean, where I will watch out for some development in the Western Caribbean. Still no big signs of that. I know there's a lot of chatter out there. I'm not seeing big signs of development right now. I'll take you through it in just a moment. Watching out for some hit or miss showers elsewhere. Guyana, we've had some heavier rain overnight, parts of Panama as well. And on the coast, Guatemala and El Salvador, we had some heavier rain overnight and again into today. Tropical Atlantic, a new tropical wave is out there. These are not water waves. These are waves above our head in the atmosphere. They're areas of rain and storms. As these move across this time of year, I don't expect development out here, but eventually they bring extra rain into the Caribbean. This time of year, early in the hurricane season, we look close to home for development. Later in the season, we look off the coast of Africa. Now, what we're watching out for, there's going to be some rain building in the Western Caribbean over the next week or two. That's all right on track from what we've been talking about together. Only one model, and I look at more than just 4 models, but I really keep an eye on the environmental conditions. The models are computers. They could be so far off. If they don't see one ingredient, their whole solution could actually be completely off. The American model has this area developing into a tropical storm and eventually shooting up to the north, but the European model, the Canadian, the Icon German model have nothing out of this. And I want to show you what I'm seeing out there in the environment. Let's start with this. This is the American model, which is very aggressive with some development. We start short term first. The dust moving in. I'll show you that in a moment. Here is that front I just showed you. So the Bahamas and Cuba, watch how the rain builds even back toward the Cayman Islands by tomorrow. A surge of rain. This is an area we haven't had much at all, especially through the Bahamas. Even the Cayman Islands, we haven't had a lot of rain. We've had some scattered storms through parts of Cuba, but increased rain through here. Now, this time of year, I mentioned we look close to home for development because you get these fronts moving by to the north and they leave some leftover moisture around. So you see by Tuesday, we have some of the rain around that is possible. Cayman Islands swinging up to the north, mainly northern and central Bahamas, that chance of rain. Still keeping an eye on Guyana and Suriname. Now, let's go out in time here and just swing you deeper into the end of the week. And you can see a couple things happening here. One, the next name on the list, the next named storm, may start to develop in the Eastern Pacific. So we'll monitor this. And then the American model saying, hey, back behind it, there could be a little surge of moisture lifting to the north. Sometimes the American model, a computer, gets confused. Sometimes it sees an area developing here and it thinks there's going to be 2 areas developing, but it's really just one out in the Eastern Pacific. But as of now, it's showing 2 areas as we work our way into the following week. This here is by June 9th. On Monday. Now, what I do believe is there is going to be some rain developing in through here. And then deeper into the month, we'll be watching those tropical waves, even more of those moving in. So the American model may be a little bit confused, thinking, hey, is something developing here or both? I believe more in the Eastern Pacific, we're going to see some development, but there will be some rain to watch. And this, while I'm not seeing any crazy signs of development, it is a spot to monitor.
What is it?
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big butt.
It's not an app, though. It's not a f***ing app. What the f***? It's not a f***ing app.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Juliana International Airport, PJIAE, launched Good News Tuesday, an internal initiative to recognize outstanding team members. During the first event this week, managers spotlighted employees who went above and beyond. Honorees will be featured on PJIAE's appreciation wall with their photos and stories. CEO Michael Cleaver said, "Our employees are the heartbeat of this airport, and Good News Tuesday is our way to honor their dedication and courage. These employees embody leadership with heart. PJIAE is committed to fostering a culture of appreciation. Stay tuned for more Good News Tuesdays highlights, because every win matters at PJIAE."
First-time author Safiyya Chance will represent St. Maarten as literary ambassador at the 22nd Annual St. Maarten Book Fair, June 5th to 7th, 2025. She will debut her poetry book, Native Choir, during the opening ceremony on June 5th at Bel Air Community Center. Native Choir explores the themes of unity, betrayal, and resilience. Chance, who leads the French Language United Women's Book Club section, sees her role as weaving together the island's past, present, and future through literature. Chance studied political science in France and holds a Yale certificate in managing stress. She currently works in health in Marigot. The book fair selects one author annually to represent local writers. This year's event will feature Native Choir and other new regional titles. All residents and visitors are invited to attend and meet authors. Local writers can sell books on June 7th at the University of St. Maarten. Free display tables are available by request. St. Maarten-based filmmaker Joel Ayuk made history at the 2025 Festival de Cannes by launching the first ever Caribbean Day at Cannes under Pavilion Afriques. The event spotlights the Caribbean's creative talent and global film potential, placing St. Maarten firmly on the international cultural map. Ayuk, known for his award-winning film Chokehold, joined top producers and policymakers to advocate for regional storytelling and sustainable funding in Caribbean cinema. Caribbean Day aims to connect filmmakers with global distributors and investors, opening doors for collaboration and growth. This is about legacy, Ayuk said. We're building bridges that will shape the next generation of Caribbean creatives.
Anguillan national Jamil Rochester has been appointed Director of Tourism at the Anguilla Tourist Board effective May 15th. The announcement was made by Minister of Health, Sport and Tourism, Cardigan Connor, fulfilling a promise to place locals in key tourism roles. Rochester brings a wealth of experience from top hospitality brands in Anguilla and Turks and Caicos, as well as leadership roles in tourism and financial services. He holds 2 master's degrees and a bachelor's degrees in management, along with tourism-specific certifications. ATB Chair Amelia Vanterpool Kubish praised the appointment, noting Rochester's skills and visions are well suited to lead Anguilla's tourism sector into a competitive, digitally driven future. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. on TV 15. Then social media platforms like Alexa or Spotify or Facebook. I'm Austin Lawrence.
And I'm Desiree Lassero, wishing you an amazing week. See you next time.
And for the whole week, as long as you can hold it in, St. Maarten, stay friendly, St. Maarten.